And the monkey flips the switch. Welcome to the Community
full
Gamers
backup lap.
podcast. We are live right now with the Core League. They've been doing dick jokes for about 30 minutes now, and I think it's time to interrupt that.
I get a t-shirt.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and go to the top.
That's all we get for our dick jokes is a t-shirt?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's to the first person, but someone already blew their first load on that, so we will not be handing out our t-shirt. So let's take it from the top. Introducing everyone, Carl.
What's up, guys?
Platt, you want to say hi?
Hey.
And we below me, we got Randy Post.
Below me.
If you're not careful, he'll rear end you too.
Oh, that's still not gonna get you a t-shirt. All right, it looks like Post is postal right now. Terry Condas, want to say hi?
Yes. Howdy, everybody. Glad to be back.
And we got the hard charger getting 10 plus P from taking a caution and not going in for a pit. Willie Everhand. Ham.
Howdy.
My bad.
Did you say he gets 10 plus penis?
Yeah. 10 plus.
There's abbreviations
penis.
in there. You choose whatever you want it to be.
Hey, I don't like to brag, but it's a
I understand that you're getting married next week, bro, but you ain't gotta take 10 dicks at once.
You got to get it out of the way, dude.
Hey, I'm just trying to make sure this is just what I want, all right?
Hey,
Never
I understand. Hey, I got you, man.
10 inches is nothing special.
Guys, my instructor left me a really nice note.
We're live, Randy. Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're
What do
live.
you mean, your instructor?
Wait,
your
we have an
Pilates class or
instructor?
something?
It's called a teacher around here.
So what's up, Moose God?
Fuck, I don't know,
Zumba
man.
instructor.
They're all talking about Zumba instructors.
Randy's got a Zumba instructor.
I don't have a Zumba instructor.
He's got a yoga instructor.
You're doing it wrong.
Willie?
Jesus. All right, well let's get things rolling. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. Feeling a little under the weather, but no biggie. How are you doing, Carl?
Well, I'm good now. Now that everything's settled down a little bit, it's probably gonna go right off the rails again in about 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so we're doing a pretty big podcast right now since everyone's in the thing. And last time I snapped at Travis for pulling you out, so I figured might as well just start off with everyone, so I don't get upset for people just hopping in and out.
Yeah, Travis was upset that you told him to pull out.
Oop, I think we made it 3 seconds into the podcast before the first dick joke.
You weren't here for the first 2 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's have a little fun with this. And you guys want to estimate? Actually, no, fuck that. We can't do that because you guys will just keep making dick jokes.
Can we
to
put a
get to a
counter up?
specific point. I wish. You know, I need to get one of those made so I have a little button. I
Each
can
dick
press.
joke is a shot for everybody in this room right now.
Oh, gee, I can't do that.
We wouldn't make it to the freaking halfway.
I don't think we'd make
This
it
would be-
15 minutes.
This would be a 10-minute podcast.
Yeah. That would end real fast. I still think we need to play iRacing where you do one lap and then you chug a beer and then you do it again. And you just keep going
Oh,
so
kind
you
of.
can make
What
those
is that?
laps.
It's called
It's
League.
called Mario Kart.
Yeah.
It's called League Racing.
Yeah, but with iRacing. Fuck that with Mario Kart. All right, let's
Oh my god.
you know, I didn't even load that media. Probably should. Here, you know what? Let's pull up the season finale video that I awesomely threw together. Just load that.
Wait,
oh, nice.
season finale of Core?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you not watch the video?
You didn't watch the
No, can we-
video?
Oh,
Alright,
Sure,
oh,
bro.
wait,
Alright,
hold on. I
alright,
thought we were
alright.
talking about the actual race because I don't want to relive that race.
I don't either. I wrecked the lap. I wrecked the field on lap 4.
No.
Dude, I wrecked the lap every lap. I wrecked the field every lap. It's terrible.
All
We
right.
didn't
Wreck
do
the
it
lap
before I
every
left.
lap.
I'll play this
Yeah,
video
every
real
lap.
fast.
Trust me, I've apologized to everybody. I feel terrible about that.
That bad?
So,
All right. Let's
I feel bad,
Let's
but
run it right.
I'm getting used to getting old, but where's my ambition? Days of omission, I feel broken down inside because the words seem to be tight. Overwhelmed.
whatever you call your
Yeah, post media.
paints, or post by paints, or whatever you call it.
Paints by post.
All right, to get it right, it's Randy's raps, but
Hey, well,
what the?
Jesus.
Oh man. All right, guys. Enough dicks. So
Yeah,
let's.
why is there so many? Why is Arnold just giving the old Nazi salute with his wiener?
Why not?
Well, I thought he was like Russian or something like that. Not
No,
sure.
he's
He's
Austrian.
Austrian. The Russians don't
Everything's
talk
about Willie.
like him. Watch out.
Because he
I
stole
tried
that.
to make it
Willie's
He
just
stole that
popular
whole
tonight.
hard charger from me.
Yeah, he did. That's where he did it. That snap right there that I
last-
have
yeah.
was him
It's
taking.
well worth it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna hang out and grab it, and then he just decided to stay up in the front the rest of the race.
No, that wasn't it at all. I was trying to beat Carl for the championship, and I just so happened to beat Terry for that thing. I didn't even know I was in the running for that. So.
He was aiming high, and he's like, "Fuck it, Terry, I'm taking yours too."
I'm gonna take every fucking thing.
So you guys excited to have a fresh or a clean slate? No points.
Yes.
No more Carl taking it from you guys.
Well, Carl's
Carl-
gonna take it all right because I think I'm gonna try and bump him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, Carl's gonna take it if you know what I mean.
All right.
So we got.
Jesus
This
Christ.
this is what Carl's gonna do.
So you guys
Anyway.
are practicing the next track coming up, which is going to be the Pro 2 Lights at Sunrise. Oh,
Scuba.
not
Scuba.
Sunrise.
Yep.
It's
or
Scuba.
Well,
whatever you pronounce it.
Yeah, Sunrise at Scuba.
Sakuba.
Yeah, Sakuba.
Scuba.
Scuba gear.
Scooby
So
Doo.
how,
Yes.
how does it feel in those slow tracks?
Oh, can you talk like Shaggy the entire time during the broadcast?
Well, Scoobs.
Like Zoink Scoob?
Wowzer.
Yeah, you're going to get me sued. Please stop.
We're gonna get you what?
For using the likeness of Shaggy, I get sued by Sony.
That,
Actually,
that
would be
requires
Warner
me to actually
Brothers.
sound like Shaggy.
Yeah.
TM.
That'd be Warner Brothers coming after my ass.
Do they even own Scooby anymore?
No, they probably sold it to Sony. Sony like ate up everyone. It's like
People
Sony.
can't own gods, and Scooby Doo is a god.
Yeah, that is true.
They can actually.
Spaghetti Monster?
They don't own me.
Spaghetti, dude. I haven't
Oh,
heard that since
Jesus.
high school. Jesus Christ.
What?
The flying spaghetti monster in the sky.
What is
We had
that?
in this class, I mean, we actually had a discussion about the flying spaghetti monster.
Oh,
Somebody
Jesus.
didn't believe that it was like
A real
a
thing.
real thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what is
Did you
it?
see the
Wait,
person
hold
that?
up, hold up. Can somebody please tell me what that says?
What?
Apparently, this is our topic for tonight.
The flying spaghetti monster? It's
Yeah.
an actual like
Oh, wait, wait.
religion.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, Pastafarian.
yeah.
what they did is they took
It sounds like a big fucking joke, dude. That sounds
How
like
the
a
hell
big
do you guys know this shit?
I'm gonna be busy for the next.
joke. How does more than one person know about this shit? Is what bothers me.
because
Because it was big a while ago.
yeah.
Big weird.
I get
What
it.
do
It's a
you
mouse
guys
fucking a
live?
mouse.
There it is. That's a spaghetti monster.
Yep.
Is
Wait.
that from SpongeBob or what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like a Simpsons fucking dialogue or something.
no, it's
No,
it's
it's
a
a
literal.
Yes,
yeah.
that is a
So
recognized religion.
there's a person went to the DMV and wore a cauldron on his head because it was part of the religious wear, and you're allowed to do that and take a picture.
For Harry Potter or what?
No, for being a Pastafarian.
Pasta Arian. It's like an
Yes.
Italian thing.
No. It's
The
it's
bottom
a,
of the pasta
so
bowl.
I forgot what it was, but pretty much what happened was there was a
joke.
school it was like a school and something happened where religion was being taught in a class, and so what people did was they replaced the god with flying spaghetti monster in every sentence, and then submitted it to the state and said, hey, if they can do that, then we're going to do this. And then they got approved because they approved the other people too. So it became a religion.
How many people are practicing this?
I don't fucking know.
It's over 10,000 because it's like a federally recognized religion.
Like I said, I heard about it in high
Oh
school,
my
laughed
God.
about it for a second, and that was it. Yeah, there it is.
That's a strainer.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yep.
cauldron, my bad.
Oh,
Strainer.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so bunch of fucking
Yeah,
idiots. At least he's a donor.
Wonder if he got that at Diagon Alley.
I don't think he won his organs.
Yeah, I don't know about that. They're probably full of
And-
diabetes.
What in the what?
Religious or ridiculous?
After that, he didn't get a job for his whole life. He was done. That was his last interview.
Well, did he
Hell
wear
yeah.
the hat?
It's not a hat.
Could you imagine?
It's a strainer.
You guys, wait, you guys
It's a
remember like
religious
when they
wear.
remade the Dukes of Hazzard movie and that dude wore an armadillo helmet? That's
Mhm.
what that guy looks like.
Oh, jeez.
That's the guy from Broken Lizard.
Yeah, it's Farva, isn't it?
Yeah, Farva. Yeah.
Yeah, it's far.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Have you guys watched the second one?
There you go.
Yeah,
There's the Pastafarian
Our
prayer.
pasta who art al dente.
Simmered by the sauce.
That doesn't make me
Right,
believe in
cheese
it.
and
That just makes me
crumbs and
any- that
meatballs,
just makes me
y'all.
hungry.
This does make me hungry. But why did they put ramen at the end? That makes no sense.
Instead of amen, it's ramen.
Yeah, but
it's
ramen doesn't go with
As long as
pasta.
it's
sauce.
so as long as it's a pasta, we're good. So we're talking like Japanese dishes, Chinese,
guess.
anything you do.
Yeah,
I
you could get a
guess
little Thai food up in there.
Oh man.
Give me
Well-
some pad pie.
So I don't think that's a very good religion because it doesn't incorporate the Native Americans.
Well, I don't think they discriminate.
I think they do. It's only for noodle eating
There's
countries.
no race.
Hey, chill. My old lady's half Native American.
My
Oh, ladies Mexican.
my girlfriend's Native American.
Does she like
too.
pasta?
No, she hates it with a passion. She hates pasta.
No, she loves it.
No, she
All right,
hates it.
yeah.
She doesn't like
She's
wet
one of
noodles.
us.
I'm not.
One
I'm
of
not-
us. One of us. One of us.
Oh, there's a chant. For
Oh, hold on. I got another one here for you.
Oh,
this
Jesus.
this is probably more fitting for our religion.
We're gonna get rid of the core league.
The beer
There we
prayer.
go.
Yes, that's it right there.
All right, Terry, would you lead us in our prayer?
Our lager,
Take a shot.
which art
Oh,
and
take
beverage,
my hat off.
hallowed be thy drink. I will be drunk. I will be drunk.
Aye.
At home, as in the tavern.
He's already drunk. Don't worry about it. You're allowed to mess up this.
Our foamy head. Forgive us our spillages, as we forgive those who spill against us. Lead us not into
Incarceration.
Incarceration.
There we go.
So when
Hold up. Can we do
so when did your podcast become a church session for beer?
Did-
Well, no, it was
Since
coffee
Terry
first.
joined.
Yeah,
It
seriously.
was, yeah.
I'll drink to that.
There we go. The
Barman.
only problem
man.
is you're the only one that has beer left, bro.
Terry? Hey,
I'll,
just
here,
say-
I'll
just say
go
get-
crack open a beer right now. How about that?
No,
White,
but I'm
but
out.
white.
I'm out. As well. What were you saying, Willie?
Already got it. Oh, is Keys in here now?
Yeah, I
Jeez,
told him he has to get in here
Jingle,
because he's
jingle,
sitting here
jingle.
listening to me laugh.
I'm listening to him cackling over there.
Oh Jesus.
Cackling with his cankles.
So welcome to.
I've lost weight. Fuck you.
Welcome to AA.
Oh man.
We're gonna now announce our our.
Hi,
what do
I'm
they call
John, and I have a problem.
it?
I thought you weren't using your real name.
Everyone
Yeah, I'm
pledge to the
Steve.
beer god.
I'm Anthony.
Oh man, is this what I should do every
Yeah,
single
I
time
got
we
fingers in
do
my butt.
a core
Oh,
racing?
come on.
Is I should do
Alright.
the national beer
This
prayer?
podcast is going terrible.
All right, let's get on track. Let's get on track here,
What
guys.
are we getting on track here, guys? Rompus time is over.
All right. Enough playing around.
Yeah, what do you think this is? Toddlers and tiaras?
Ooh.
No,
Oh.
tattoos and toddlers.
Tots
Okay.
and Tods.
I don't know.
Cody Webster.
Ooh, should we talk about that?
All right, your
Bless you.
band kicked you. You're muted. You're
I don't think
done.
that's the right time.
He said muted.
All right. So what are we talking about tonight, guys?
All right, so
Willie's marriage?
NR 2003.
Jesus
Well, I don't
Christ.
think I ever played that.
I don't think I did either.
NR 2003 was by far the best simulation game ever.
All right, I'm gonna pull up
Oh,
a
now
picture of it.
I think you're wrong.
I don't know. Did you ever play like NASCAR 03 on the PS2?
That is NR 2003, dipshit. NASCAR Racing 2003.
Oh,
Whoa, man.
Getting a little
Wow.
hostile
but
there,
you could-
dude. Back the
Yeah,
fuck
but
up.
that was the last one you could use 4 PS2 controllers, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
PC
can mod
was-
it, right?
Did you guys
Yeah,
ever
you can
have?
mod it on the PC.
Not-
It was
yeah, on the
amazing.
PC.
Did you guys ever have that like multi-port that would plug in the PS2 that allowed you to plug in more
So-
controllers?
So
Yes,
obviously we
and
all
it
know
never
that-
worked.
Yeah, the
Dude.
thing was a fucking shit show.
So you guys know I worked on a race team, right?
Nope.
No.
Didn't know that.
No, what
Yeah,
team did
fuck
you
you.
work on?
Really?
No. Well, anyway. So
No,
we
no,
were on the
no, no,
road.
no. Back the fuck up. What race team did you work on? Tell us the dirty secrets.
Call Long
Car-
Motorsports.
I mean, I worked on the '95 car for Levine Motor Family Racing, and I was a shot guy. So
How many did you
obviously
take
you go
before
to
you
the
trace?
racetrack and go to a hotel, and that's pretty much your second home for a year. So a bunch of us got together and put in some money. So we all bought a PS2 and bought. I mean, we had NASCAR 2003. We had Dirt to Daytona. I'm talking.
Ooh.
We had all these. I mean, and we bought that multi-port thing. So we'd literally spend time away from the racetrack, grab a good dinner, go back to the hotel, and play PS2. So yeah, that multi-port and the 4-player, them old school PS2 NASCAR games got us through boring times while we're away from our families.
Did it split the TV into 4?
No.
It did.
Oh, it did?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
You guys ever like try to put like pieces of cardboard so nobody could see what somebody else was doing?
No, we just no.
Like
the
everybody
thing
has their
was,
own
we
little
just-
screen.
Well, we get so many beers by the end of the night that we were looking at each other's screens and not paying attention to our own.
I got
Right.
really
So,
good at
who
screen
needed
hacking.
dividers when you were looking at?
Ooh,
You're
shit.
like,
that
oh
was
man, I
created by
turned in. I thought
Sierra.
that was mine.
Do you guys remember Sierra Games and how they just disappeared?
Yeah, Papyrus.
No,
Yeah,
on the
yep.
left, Sierra.
Yeah, that was the best one. That was back in like
Yep.
'98.
Oh, dude,
was it?
that was like,
Sierra Games.
man,
Yep.
They made some dope
never
ass
heard of it.
games and they disappeared.
dude, that was like my favorite game, and it's probably still one
Yep.
of my top ones because they had Hickory, which is probably 45 minutes from me, Hickory Motor Speedway, and I mean, how badass was
Yeah,
that
what
to
was,
race?
what was that? That was in like 2, right? I don't think that was in 1. That was in 2, wasn't it?
No, this was like the origin. This was the.
That's what I'm
original
saying.
one.
That's
Yep.
what I'm saying. I thought it was the second version.
Yep.
Yeah, I know it was way back. Yeah, I remember that too.
Did you guys ever play NASCAR Rumble?
No.
Oh, that game was fun.
Was that like the Mario Kart one where you could pick up like power ups and
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
you had to race like Daytona Beach after a hurricane or some shit?
Yep. And there was tornadoes that would come through. It was
What?
so much fun.
Did they used to have that on arcade machines?
No, I had it for PS1.
Oh, dude, they. Yeah, I see that for PS1. I can't find a fucking large image of it. They're all like fucking super small.
What, NASCAR Rumble? Actually, yeah, no, I did play this.
I thought it was on a arcade because I remember there being a game that used to have that. You drive like
Maybe,
NASCARs,
I don't know.
and
I
they,
never
like,
saw it.
was an arcade game.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That game was so much fun.
No, you're thinking of. Yeah, I know what you're thinking of. It's not NASCAR Rumble though.
You're thinking
was
about
it?
Cruising USA?
No,
No.
Wasn't there a didn't they come out with, I don't know, probably shit now 10 years ago, but like Jimmy Johnson's anything with wheels
Yes,
or something?
Yes, and you could race
Wait, what?
toilets.
Like
What?
bar stools and toilets
Yes,
and
yes.
lawnmowers and shit.
Wait, it's called Jimmy Johnson's NASCAR.
Yeah, Jimmy
it was-
Johnson's anything with wheels or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
With
yep,
Wheels. All right,
yep.
let's see this.
And Randall, you're thinking of Daytona USA.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, dude, you cannot beat Daytona USA.
No, that game was the shit.
Oh, what the fuck? Why didn't we ever
Oh,
play
that was
this
the one
game?
you played at the arcade.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always like
It
Daytona
sucked.
USA 2 because you could like power slide going into 3 and 4 completely. Yep, that's it right there.
Yep.
It sucks so
Yeah.
bad, dude, because you put your first $1 in, you do like 3 laps.
And you're done.
Yeah.
Well, you could never beat the time.
And I was like, no.
Yeah, oh, did you want to finish that race? Oh.
No joke, you can buy those. Like, they're selling them pretty cheap.
There's a 3.
I can't find
There's-
a large image of this, so
there's a
I'm
3.
sorry to everyone
Yeah,
out
look
there.
up
This is
Daytona
all I
USA
can fucking
3. They
find.
never came out. But there's images of them, and they ran. I was looking at them. They had some like whatever video game con thing, and they had them there.
Yeah, 2016, like 3 years ago. The fuck?
The funny thing is,
What
like
you talking
most
about, Willis?
most people's rigs nowadays are better than these.
I doubt. I'd fucking beg to differ.
Oh,
It
maybe
might
not
look
Would you
yours.
like to see my rig?
The high refresh rate
Whoa,
of those
whoa.
tubular monitors were way better than everyone else's fucking rig.
Really?
Yeah, those old monitors, the tube ones, they actually have a faster refresh rate than LCDs.
Oh yeah. When I used to play
Yeah,
COD.
you can
I,
get
I
up
would
to,
fuck
like,
people up
you
because
used-
everybody was on plasmas.
Yeah, you used to be able to get up to I want to say up to 200 hertz on those things. I'll
Yeah.
I'll check it, but they're fast. They just don't have really good detail.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. See, you have a better rig than what's up there. Just got. Oh, your Oculus too?
Holy
Yeah.
shit, Randy.
At least something. fun. He's got a fan.
Daytona.
Oh, those games are the best.
Right, you need to clean your house.
Yeah,
no
this
shit,
corner's bad.
Then right behind him, you got the
Yo, I
keys
want
corner.
the Dale Earnhardt Bush sign though, or poster.
Dude,
whatever.
I have had that poster since I was 6 years old.
All right.
Shit.
So just to jump in here with some quick math. Cathode ray tubes or the tube monitors can do 89 to 96 hertz. So that's pretty fast.
So, yeah, that's pretty good.
LCDs usually do about 60. Unless they're expensive.
So what I'm gonna
Oh.
start doing is I'm gonna start selling everybody some old ass tube TVs that I
Wait,
have.
sorry.
Out back.
CRT monitors
For
can do up to
gaming.
200 hertz. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What are these? I was looking
I used
at
to fuck people up, dude. I had a 32-inch fucking tube TV, and everybody else had plasma.
yeah, those tube
when that first
TVs are
came on.
perfect for gaming.
It was great when you.
I'm surprised they don't bring those out on fucking like giant tournaments. Everyone's got fucking old tube screens.
None of the people that play tournaments are strong enough to pick up a tube TV.
You're right. Fucking noodle arms over there.
Dude, you know what the sad part is? If you brought like a game like Super Mario Brothers, like on that old school like Nintendo, the kids that are playing like Fortnite now would be completely lost and not know what to do.
Oh yeah, how to do
Let
the,
'em play
like, the fucking
Turok.
2D? Yeah.
Let them play
Yeah.
You're like, I
Turok
can
and
only
they'll
go
get
from left
lost.
to right. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Dude. Or
I
give
grew
them,
up playing like Contra and
give
all
them
that.
GoldenEye.
So,
They would
yeah.
have such a
Up,
pain
down,
in the
down,
ass trying to
left,
play
right, B, select
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Trying to use that little joystick.
Oh, there we go.
And then we'd play video games.
Yeah.
Oh, childhood.
Rub one out to
and-
Topanga and then go
adults.
play some Sega.
Good old show me mine if I show you yours.
Mm.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Hell yeah.
Jesus.
So that should be my multiplayer. Okay.
Shit, do you guys remember playing like the old school Ninja Turtle games?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in
On the
the
Sega?
arcade
Battle
and on the what like
Sega
oh yeah,
Genesis?
Battle Frogs too.
Battle
Yeah.
Toads.
Or Battletoads.
Yeah,
Battletoads.
Battletoads. Fuck.
That was the shit.
What was it? Then you had like, you remember biker mice?
What? All right, I'm looking this up.
Biker mice. You got to look at biker mice. I might be showing
Biker
my
mice
age
from
here, but-
Mars.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was from Mars or something. Yeah, yep.
Oh, I remember these. What the fuck? Yeah,
And then like biker mice, and then you had like street sharks and shit. Like
I
the
remember
football
Street
player
Sharks
and-
for sure.
Street Sharks was the shit.
Those things were dope. They only lasted like one season though.
Bastards.
What was that motorcycle game that you could like hit people with pipes?
Road Rash.
The road-
Yes, that game was
Yes.
fun.
The original one. The
Yep.
further on they got, it just got
Yeah,
stupider.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the first one was the shit though.
yeah.
There we go.
Now we gotta like download all this shit and start playing.
Show everyone fucking.
They've got a Road Rash
Here's
game on
your
Steam.
Biker mice from Mars.
Do they?
Apparently they had
Yeah.
fucking little antennas too. They're like alien mice.
Like one had a robotic arm or something.
Yeah, he's got a half robo face with no eyes, or he's got no pupils. They're just
Ooh.
white, blink, staring, soulless eyes.
Even I would wear that.
And he's got
Shut
little
up, bitch.
fucking red. That's like the shittiest fucking thing to put on. Is like literally.
That's
Oh
just
my
like-
God.
You
Let me
shut
tell
your
you,
whore mouth.
That's the ugly sweater for Christmas right there.
I
Oh,
want
wait,
that.
what a
Hold up.
what
I
am I
want
missing here? That's on was it Yetzi?
I will wear that every time we do a core race or a podcast or.
Yes, there it is.
The chain. Chain is the shit.
My graphics still look like that.
That's how your iRacing looks.
And that was And that was a segue
Oh,
into
that
Oh,
was a
dude.
good game.
That
Yeah,
was
it was.
Jim.
that came back.
No,
didn't
I don't know
it?
if it's
thought,
that one or if
Oh.
it was called Worms.
I got one
I
for
have
you.
Are you talking about
Worms.
Earl and Toe Jam or Toe Jam and Earl?
Oh, Jan and Earl, yeah,
Toe
that
Jam.
was good. I played
Yeah.
the shit out of that one.
There's one where like you had like these little worms and they would like
That's-
shoot across
It's
on
called
PC.
Worms Armageddon.
You had to like, is that what it was? And you had to
Yeah.
like blow them up and knock them down a cliff and shit.
Yeah,
There you
I have
go.
that. That thing's I love playing that game. But Earthworm Jim, didn't they try bringing that back or like making a movie out of it or something?
Here
No,
you go.
that was a
Only
human
the
centipede, and that's not the same thing.
only the real ones remember this.
Banjo,
Wow.
yes.
Oof.
I don't know that at all.
Yeah,
So
that
I'm
was a
guessing
good
you
game.
guys never played NASCAR Legends.
No.
Hey, what was the one oh Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Yes. Was that the one where
That
they
was a-
like they had all like
You-
the PG-13 fucking like
Oh no, that
commercials?
thing was like rated M.
Was it
and
rated
it was
M?
like one of the first rated M games, and you had to fight the shit monster with toilet paper.
The shit monster, really?
Oh,
I don't know that one at all.
I haven't played that one.
Streets of Rage.
I think I've played that.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. Oh yeah, they remade that in HD. Nintendo's most controversial game. Yeah, because like one of the characters was like a stripper, wasn't it?
something like that. Yeah, she was a whore.
She was a hooer.
Did you say
She was
horror
like-
or core?
Well,
She was
she
whore.
looked like
It's like, I
there you
thought she
go.
was kicked by a
She looks like
Clydesdale.
the fucking rabbit from Looney Tunes. the
Space
movie.
Jam. The chick Lola Bunny
Yeah,
or something like that.
it's up to 4 players, guys. There you go. Advisory: this game is not for anyone under the age of 17. Apparently,
Willie,
you see
look at your
squirrel
Facebook.
boobs.
I tagged you in.
Oh man, now I gotta look up Facebook.
So much
Throttle-
stuff to do.
Throttle stuck at Rockford Speedway tonight for national or short track nationals this weekend.
Holy
practice.
Nikes! My man went
That's
through
a-
the fence.
He went through the billboards, over the billboard, or went riding up on the billboards, through
over
the
the wall,
billboards, and
through
out of the
the-
park.
Out of the park.
Yeah, out of the park.
Out of the park.
You guys can't share with everyone?
I'll post
Yeah,
the
it's
pictures
messed
in
up.
Yeah.
general.
Send that to us. I want to put it up there. We can talk about it.
I'll post them in Discord.
So, how much of you guys, or I guess, how many of you guys actually did racing in real life, like street stock or whatever?
I've never raced in my life.
Never raced in my life.
I thought
Whatever.
Those two guys about that.
So,
Oh.
I did. Oh my god!
Shit.
Jesus. Sent it.
Huey.
They just built a ramp for him. Fuck.
I think that happened after. But
Oh,
Track is sick.
shit.
That was a bad track design.
Do you mind if I put up this picture?
Oh my.
Go ahead.
All right.
Wait, so when's the race?
Is he good?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
When's
so-
the race, Platt?
This weekend. It was
Oh,
rained
he'll
out
have-
2 weeks ago.
$5 is that motherfucker will have that thing loaded up and ripped
Uh,
like on Saturday night.
Left-hander chassis is literally about 3 miles away from that place, so the car might be there already.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
that's the best thing about short track racing, man.
Throttle stuck, so hopefully they hit the straight rail in the car. If it hurt the straight rail, you can have a clip on it in 4 hours, ready to go. Put a
Yeah.
body on it.
Whoever put the air cleaner on is not allowed to do that anymore, because that's probably what happened.
Yeah, it probably didn't have a space on top of the carburetor.
Nope. Tightened her down and
Is that what
she
happened?
hooked.
It just hooked onto the top of the hood.
The linkages
Green
on
doesn't
the
have it.
carburetor,
Yeah.
when they go all the way up on the carburetor, they usually get stuck on the bottom of the air cleaner, on the
Oh,
base
okay,
plate of the
yeah,
air
yeah.
cleaner.
Yeah. I
And what it
understand.
does when you hit full throttle, and it doesn't have like a space for it to clear,
Yeah.
it'll get
just-
locked on the bottom of the air cleaner because you press the throttle so hard.
Mhm.
And when you do, it's
It
the rest is
just skip
history.
past.
You see the history right there.
Yeah.
Boy, for
Don't most of
someone
these
that's
cars
never
have a-
raced, you know a lot.
Never been in a car in my life.
You said
Never
race.
even been-
I wrecked a lot.
Never even. Yeah, that's me. Never been to a racetrack at all.
No, but can't or don't most isn't like one of the regulations is you have to have a on top foot for your throttle so you can actually
Yeah,
pull
but
back for a stuck
you-
throttle.
Yeah, and
When it gets stuck like that, on a quarter-mile racetrack,
you're not.
you ain't
pulling
got time to react, dude. You ain't got time to react to pull it off and hit the brakes and shut the car off to slow it down. At that point, when
You just
you're
send it.
lifting at this place, I was just here last week in racing. So at this place right here, you literally run it against the fence as you see. And by the time that you're
Okay.
lifting, you're basically already in the corner. So by the time he knows that the throttle's stuck, he's probably already in the billboards.
10-4. Yeah, I just thought. I know he's like playing the spring and the the throttle pressure there on the pedal. I was just wondering like
Yeah,
how you do it.
usually when you get a stuck throttle, if you're in like a big half mile that's got like big sweeping corners, you're not saving a car because you don't have enough time to pull the spring to pull the throttle back, and it takes a lot of pressure to pull them throttles back, even though it's stuck underneath the air cleaner. Usually, you'll break a throttle rod though, because your throttle rods are aluminum, so it'll literally rip the threads out of the little teeny heim joints right out of them before it undoes the throttle.
Makes sense. I just know like most of the cars they do have that part that goes on top of your foot, so where you
Oh yeah,
lift
mean,
up.
you are ignorant. You are ignorant if you ain't got one. But at that point, with a stuck throttle, that ain't even helping you, dude. It's really not going to help you that much.
I'm ignorant then. I never had one, but like most, you're supposed to have one. It's a safety feature that they're trying to implement. Same, a lot of late model. I don't know about where you guys are from, but a lot around here. But they're implementing the steel bar or the steel plates in the left side of the roll bars for even the late model stock, super lates, and all that.
Like the door plating.
Yeah, they're trying to do that around.
You don't run with that shit on there.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Shit, no.
Get a bumper bar. Get a bumper bar that comes through there.
That's
and
fucking too much weight.
You.
No, yeah, but you got to remember, I had an '01 Townsend car with a Marlowe front and rear clip. I mean,
an 01 car, I could see it. Back then, it was kind of like, oh, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna build these things as light as we can.
oh yeah,
No safety was really into them things. But any car these days, you have to have
need
it.
to have it. Now, looking like just because I've kind of matured and all that, and it's not about all that. I care about all that stuff. I'd definitely have it. But like, I mean, think about the guys back in the day that were racing modifieds and dirt cars with muffler tubing as a roll cage.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, the first CRA street stock I ever built, it had some muffler tubing as roll cage tubing on it, and I didn't give a shit. We went and raced it. It was just all about getting out there and going and have fun. We didn't care about safety.
You're like, don't worry, the weld looks good. It'll pass tech.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, at that point, when your desire is to go racing, you don't care what it takes to go there. You'll build anything. If you got a fucking, a swing set out back that's got, looks like it has roll cage tubing. You'll cut the damn swing set up and go put it in the car and go race.
Yeah, I know. We used to do all that shit for drag racing, instead of fixing the car properly most of the time, we'd half-ass it to where like there'd be like a string hooked up or whatever. Where door handles work. For like door slammers and shit.
Fucking jury rig it.
I mean, but 10, 15 years ago, that's just the way of life. Now, you look over a car before you even sit in a seat in a pits. You look a car over, for a couple minutes. Like you look at certain little things you look at when you're looking at a car to make sure the car's gonna be safe. All that stuff, seats, belts. Like he was saying, the door plating, all that stuff like that. You make sure you look at all that shit before you even strap in a car. You look at the welds, whether the welds are welded to the chassis itself, to the straight rail, or to the anything like on the frame, shit like that. You always check that stuff now. But back in the day, you didn't give a shit. You just got in there and you went and had fun.
Oh, absolutely, man. That and it wasn't even about. I mean, obviously they were having fun doing what they were doing, but like some of them guys, that was their life. They were racing for a living.
Oh yeah,
it still goes on nowadays. People racing for a living.
I don't know a single person racing for a living because it's a losing proposition.
People that are running dirt up north of my brother, a lot of them, that's all they do.
Damn, that's tough.
I don't understand how you can do it. You
gotta look at Nick.
Well, Nick, but he has a ton of money behind these things. You know what I mean?
He's also built a reputation. He's built a name. But he
is the most premier modified driver in the country, and he goes to every racetrack there is and whacks his ass. So him, yeah, I can see it because he goes races these big money races, and he can actually make money doing it. But these local guys, that you run one racetrack, you don't travel, you go run one racetrack, you ain't making no damn money.
Oh, absolutely.
You're making the racetrack money. That's it.
No, you got to follow the paycheck. You got to look for that race 10,000 payout for winning.
But to go follow them big races, you have to have a big budget behind you.
You gotta have something.
Yes, true. especially if you blow up or have a wreck or anything like that.
And
Shit
those
doesn't
guys that
happen.
have big budgets, they're not racing for food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that we need to start a racing for food league? Yeah, maybe.
No, we need to start a racing for beer league.
This is true.
No, what I'm telling you is racing needs to go back to its roots.
It does.
Now, and what exactly would that be for someone that's, I guess, coming from the outside into racing?
So back in the day, they used to go take to the junkyard. You know, you go to the junkyard and you go buy an A-arm. You cut the A-arm up, you'd extend it, and there's your camber.
Okay.
Now you can buy cambered spindles. You can buy cambered anything. You can buy anything off the shelf, and it costs a ton of money.
Yeah.
So what it needs to go back to? It needs to go back to you get your ass in the shop. You build your parts, your pieces. You don't buy them, and it has to be like that. Literally, you got to take the cost out of racing it, and that's
So-
what has happened. So like, if I wanted any kind of length A-arm, I can go buy it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't have to go to the junkyard and cut it up, and make my own shit. You know,
Now, can I?
then you
throw a
can buy
counterpoint to
anything off
that?
the shelf, and that's not okay anymore. Like, you have to take the cost out of this shit. It has to get back to where my grandfather raced coyotes, which is like a street stock.
Yeah.
So their right front springs, what they used to do literally is go walk the railroad and find a spring that would fall out of a fucking train car, and that would be your right front spring. It needs to get back to stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, but how
can't
would
be-
you even start to get back to something like that if
Yeah.
everything is so readily available now? Like, how would you even
Well,
you
can
know
I throw another-
modify that
can I
basically?
throw-
You know, modify the rules to have it.
Can I throw
the
a
rules need to
counterpoint
be
that?
modified back to it to where you get to run a stock A-arm, stuff like that. They still make stock stamped OEM parts.
So
Buy those.
I think the huge problem behind that is this is where you guys were talking about someone being able to race for a living. The people that race for a living most likely have a shop that produces those parts, and that's how they afford to race continuously, is because they are producing custom parts for those cars.
There are ways around everything. Just like if you run a street stock like Monte Carlo, you can go
Yeah.
grab an S10 control arm and put it on the vehicle.
Hmm.
It's
Exactly.
identical. The ball joint's different for more strength because supposedly it's a heavier vehicle.
Yeah.
The
I
difference
used
is
to run
also the shaft.
S10 spindles on my street stock.
Right, because they're basically the same shit. But the shaft is a different size. There's more to it. It takes knowledge. The problem is that back in the day, the people that actually wanted parts or had to find parts, like even for me doing the drag racing and everything else, you would have to go on classified ad, a bargain trader.
Yeah,
like,
and then pick
I
apart.
think like Craigslist wasn't even out yet. You know what I mean? Like you had to go to your local swap meets. Nowadays, you can mail order it and get it in 2 days.
Yeah, but that's just
Everything
that's
fast.
what happens with technology. Is you know.
But that's the
someone-
thing is you
someone
take
finds a
technology
niche.
back out of these race cars.
But you
Mandate
still-
them to run a stock lower, make them run a stock A-arm, make them run a stock, spindle. God forbid, you can run a metric spindle, you can run a 2-inch drop spindle, you can run an S10 spindle. The reason why we ran the S10 spindles instead of like a stock metric spindle was because the snout was 1.5 inches lower than a metric spindle. So what it do? It would lower your ride heights. You lower your ride heights, well, then your rear end's fucked up. So we used to take, just some stupid stuff. We used to cut up all of our trailing arms, everything like that, to make your ride heights, to where you could and put your pinning angles in them. Everything like that. I mean, get back to those roots. Don't make it to where you have to buy this shit. And it's not like these things are cheap. You get these stock parts and you go spend, $50 on an A-arm. Well, you're going to spend $100 on a fucking A-arm out of a book. Get back to where it has to be this stock OEM stuff when it comes to stuff like that. Now, let's say like this late model you're seeing that's destroyed.
Yeah.
You want to get back into non-technology racing, make them run a crate motor. If you
Yeah.
want to run an open motor, you have to have restrictors, you have to have a certain size carburetor, something like that, and penalize them with weight. Also, you could, let's say you have a crate motor, shit like that. What you could do is you could put them on a different tire than like a lot of these guys run slicks. Well, I can take my stock clip car that's got a straight rail in it also, like 3-link rear suspension, but you put them on a skinny 7-inch pizza cutter tire.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go the same speed as that damn spring pocket to spring pocket full frame car. Utilize the tire to neutralize everything. Put them on something like that. You can go spend your $10 million on a car, but guess what? That tire, you can't put 800 horsepower down on the ground with a little tire.
Poof.
Hey,
There's,
you guys
there's a
get-
lot of things. There is a lot of things like that though. That Even like from what my brother runs, he like if you run what do you call it, pre-built motor, whatever it's called, you didn't
Open motor.
Yeah,
And you guys hear
You-
that?
run a 2-barrel carb or whatever
What?
that's on it. Oh, nice. I wish I had one of those.
I mean, we can sit here and talk about it all damn day, but nothing's gonna change.
No,
Nothing's gonna
things
change
can
it.
change. You just
No.
you'd
No,
have
because
to
money runs the world. It's not about fun.
bullshit.
Not about being the
Bullshit.
fastest. It's all about money.
Bullshit.
You know, you can make a class that's, you know, you got to run the stock shit, you got to run all this stuff like
Yeah,
that. You have to run this motor, you know, run all this shit. Guess what? You're still gonna have your fucking guys out there that's got a big pocketbook that's gonna find his ways to go around the rules and have, you know, a $30,000 car racing against $10,000 cars waxing our asses.
You know what? There's ways to restrict shit like that. It's just time and effort and putting together with a group of people and
Claims.
setting it up.
Claimer rules.
What's that?
You can buy the part after the
Claimer
race.
rule.
Protest them.
Put a claimer rule on shocks. Put a claimer rule on a motor. You know, put a claimer rule on anything. You want to do that? Put a claimer rule on anything.
But that's the way a lot of the races are down here.
Can we just mention the fact that Randy was falling asleep in a chair and he didn't even say goodbye?
Jesus Christ. How do you do that?
Well, and if you do that, if you make everything a lot more stock, you're going to bring a lot more competition into racing, and you're going to make it a lot more accessible to the people that, you know, don't have the connections that, you know, can have some company put $20,000 into their car, and you know, you won't have these guys jumping around just beating the crap out of everybody. Like, you know, for instance, like, you know, Friesen or Larson or, you know, some of these other guys that can jump down into, you know, a dirt track car, whether it's, you know, modifieds or sprint cars or something like that, and just beat the shit out of people because, not saying they're not good drivers, obviously they are, but, you know, they're driving with the absolute best equipment that money can buy because they have the funding and they have the sponsors and everybody like that to back them. So it makes it a hell of a lot easier for them to beat the guys that are running that track, you know, week in, week out, but just, you know, don't have the funding to have every part brand new and every part, you know, tuned perfectly.
Well, there are rules to that in some racing where you can actually go on out, you win that race, you can get protested and say, I protest your shocks. I can buy your shocks for $100. Now,
Peace.
no, I don't think it's a piece. It's
You're
like
not buying a shock off the shelf for $25. I guarantee it.
No, I said $100.
I know
You
it's
protest-
$100 a piece. Guarantee it.
You pay $100.
When you protest a car, you're buying their shit.
Right, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. So the person that came on in with the $2,000 shocks, you just picked up his shit for $100. So they have to, like, when you run a street stock type class, that's where it becomes regulated because somebody's not going to go out unless they have that big of backing and that much fucking bankroll to keep throwing down $1,000 on a shock. While this other guy knows every time I race, I'm going to go get myself another fucking shock.
Well, I'm telling you, it's gonna be priced per shock. So your $100 deal is gonna be per shock. You're not.
Right, so
they're not gonna. It's gonna be
if I
$100
bought-
per shock, not $25 a shock.
Okay, so let's just say even at that, if I were to go on out, I know that guy didn't spend $100 on that shock. I know he spent $500 to $1,000 on that shock for that race.
But you can also. I can call QA1 right now, and I can have them build whatever shocks I want for $79.99 in a steel body.
But what I'm saying is, like, you can go and, like, they got the high dollar shit. You can limit it and everybody can have a QA1. You know what you're looking at when you look at this guy's shit. You can see it out there. So what I'm saying is, if that guy's that fast and he's spending that much money and he's going above and beyond to win, you can go and say, you know what, I'll be a dick and I'll take his fucking shit and I'll have it. I can tear it apart, check the valving, see what he has. I'm out $100.
If it were me, I think that every racetrack in America should put a fish finder on the fucking wall and point it towards the infield. A fish finder. Literally a fish finder. Put a fish finder on the wall and point towards the infield of the racetrack, and you'll catch the big cheaters, and you'll just gotta throw them out.
I don't know what a fish finder is, so
I was going to say, so explain that for Randall.
I'm like, okay,
so
wait.
what a fish finder does, use sonar to detect fish off the bottom of the lake.
That's what I thought you were talking
What
about.
sonar does is interrupts traction control.
Oh, no shit.
It literally, the motor will go by and it goes bloop, 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 as soon as it goes through there. That will detect all your traction controls, all that shit like that, because it's a radio wave.
Yeah.
You know, I can hide my traction control inside my fucking rear end, but unless you have something you can find it, you're fucked. Put a fish finder on a wall, point it towards the infield, and every time a car goes by that has traction control, it'll fucking do that number with the motor.
It'll find a fish.
It'll find a big fish.
It'll find the fish, you motherfuckers, on a racetrack. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but you don't have situations where they strip down the top 3 cars, or at least the winning car for the night. I mean, I know for the tracks around here, for at least for the bigger races, and I actually think they do it for the regular weekly races too. Well, they'll strip down the winner's car.
Hey, Carl, find my fucking traction control that's welded into my race car inside the roll cage.
Oh yeah, I know, I know. And that's
strip me down to find it. You ain't going to.
I can find it.
Well, I mean, you gotta be able to find a sensor, or a speed sensor, or something like that.
You won't find it, dude.
Oh, trust me, I'll find anything.
You won't find it.
He is the most.
Have you seen what I have to sift through wire-wise? I'll find the smallest little thing and trace it back. I'm a fucking hound.
He won't know what the fuck it is, but he'll find it.
But I'll pull it out.
If you want, racing to come back to what it needs to be, Ricky Brooks needs to be at every racetrack in America every weekend.
Well, why don't you guys do something where you attach something that interrupts it? Like, so you said a fish finder, right? Well, why don't the tracks just, because technically something like that you can make really portable, and you just attach it to every
tracks
fucking
ain't gonna
car.
do that. All tracks give a fuck about is money.
Yeah.
Guess what? That guy that brought traction control, he also brought 15 people that's sitting in the stands.
Yep, exactly. He brings the fans because everybody follows him because he wins all the time, which helps sell merchandise, which helps bring more people to the track, and it's a vicious.
See, this is where paintball fixed that problem. They allowed you to cheat if you don't get caught.
Thank you, paintball. Oh, I love paintball.
If you didn't get caught, cheating is okay.
Dude, you better be careful with your swipes.
Oh, dude. I took a first place because of that. I felt really bad though because I fucked over a team that I liked.
Oh, you wiped?
I did it on accident. I got shot in the wrist and I dove, and it was a reaction. It was a shot in the wrist, dive, and I was like, oh, I just wiped that. Fuck it. Finish the game off, win the series.
Oh, that don't count.
Yeah, fuck it. But
Damn.
yeah, no, that's
I'm just people.
I don't know what to say, dude. That's fucking like. Yeah, it's just what it is, I guess. Traction control, and then you're never really gonna get rid of that shit. Even if you said you put a fish finder, no one's gonna do that because they want money, and that just comes down to maybe people not really loving the sport the way it is anymore.
Everybody wants to win. Nobody wants to lose. Look at NASCAR, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stupidest shit like people have seen is like, oh well, his spoiler's a quarter inch short. You know what I mean? Like, there's stupid crap that it's.
Yeah, they're always trying to find the next way to cheat. Yeah.
Right.
Well, what happens if
I
you
mean,
just open up the division? You say, fuck it. Have fun, boys.
Either open it up or, make it 100% fucking regulated.
Provide them a car.
That everybody has the exact same fucking equipment.
Yeah.
I always bring up like back when they had the fucking IROC series. Everybody had the exact same fucking car. And the only way you won is as the best fucking driver. And other than that, like you said, the only other way is just open it up and fucking boys have at it.
Wall, yeah.
But then that could be a situation too where the money is just going to buy wins.
Yeah.
But like even with the IROC series, it was a car that was built, everything was set on up, and then they kind of did their driving to it. But I don't remember if they swapped cars for each race that they did IROC.
Yes, every week. So
they got a different vehicle.
They got a different car there was 4 races. Same drivers, every race they had a different car.
Yeah, because we did the IROC series. I used to race RC cars, and what we did is we swapped motors. Everybody had the same body. You had your chassis, of course, your batteries, but everybody got. You can buy whatever batteries you wanted, but everybody got a motor, and then you put in a lotto, and then you pull it out, and this is the number that you got.
Yeah.
So you might get the same number again the next week or whatever it was, but then that limited to how much power the motor had. Then you had to tune it basically off of that gear ratio, how many amps it drew, and all the other bullshit.
Well, I
So,
guess
Willie-
you could do something like that if you did a league where maybe you spec'd out all the parts that are available, so teams were allowed to build their cars, and they had some differential or difference in what they could take, but everything was spec'd out and provided by the league.
You have that already. It's called 600. Well, it was called 600 Racing. I think it's called US Legend Car now.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, Legend Cars is pretty much that. I mean, everybody can do. I mean, you're literally spec everything, and you can do your own little modifications to your car, but to make it different. But I mean, everything comes, every part, chassis, body, anything you can think of comes from US Legend Cars.
Now let's just say you have enough money and you're like, man, this frame doesn't feel right to me, and chassis don't feel set up. I'll buy another one. I buy
Oh,
another
yeah,
one. Damn,
and
this
that's
car is
the thing.
fucking right, and that's where money comes into play. It's like this one's
Yeah.
good. This one's
That-
fucking perfect.
That and tires, because there's hardly any camber built into them. You're running pretty much 1 point spindles and shocks and all that stuff. So there's no real caster camber stuff. So you're paying somebody to cut your tires, and that's a huge thing around here. Is
Like as
Guys-
in shaving them, or
yes, I say shaving, or
You can-
I say
you can-
cutting. You say cut
so
shaving.
yeah, you can shave camber into a tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, literally, they're running. They're not BF Goodrich. I forget what they are now in Legend Car, but I mean, they're literally street tire, 13-inch street tires that you could buy off the shelf. And
You can take a good half an inch off of them and get it where you need it to go.
dude, it's
Well,
ridiculous.
it does that, and it prevents the radial tire from chunking, shit like that. That's why you got
Shave them and like heat disbursement, so your heat doesn't build up. I mean, there's a reason DOT tires exist, and there's a reason racing tires exist.
I agree.
Makes sense.
So Willie, going back to you being a shot guy,
Yes.
and by the way, I heard that.
I wish.
So- Have you heard of the new the shocks they have that you can adjust? Like you can adjust your rebound, you can adjust your all that stuff on a app on your phone.
The fuck?
Yeah. So I work for JRI,
Yeah,
and
this
we
is
have-
the shit that's taking over right now.
you can adjust
this is-
compression rebound from your fucking cell phone.
While the car's on a racetrack racing,
Well, we
Ah,
have
that's fucked up.
us as JRI haven't done it racing applications, but we use it for. I literally know that we can take our JRI app and put it towards our ride height system and control your ride height of your street car from your phone. Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
Looks like
nuts.
like
We haven't
Right.
used it for racing purposes. It's
Racing.
something-
racing. There's an app for that.
I know how to
Yeah.
get rid of that. Well, let's get a hold of their MAC address, and then we can take over their car and drop them, or raise them. Maybe kill their draft.
Raise them.
Just
Raise 'em.
let all that airflow
Raise
come
'em.
in.
Honestly, I'd love to see the cup cars go back to a ride height rule 6 and 8.
Ride height rule, no splitter. Put a valence on them and take a spoiler away from them. Put the drivers back in the car.
I miss like the days that you watch like from I don't know mid 90s to
Now, do,
early 2000s from Martinsville where the cars are traveling 6 inches coming off the corner. going
yeah,
right
you-
to the corner.
Coming off the corner, they raise up 6 inches. Going to the corner, they slam down on the fucking
Oh, yeah.
nose. Yeah,
Jesus.
that was
I love
racing
that.
then. No
Yep.
ride heights, no tie downs, no splitter. Put a valence back on a car, and take spoiler away from them. Like, take spoiler away from them.
Less spoiler, more horsepower.
That's it. And guess what? You got racing then.
Yeah, I
Look-
hope
look
they
up-
do that
look-
so I can do it
so-
in iRacing.
What NASCAR wants right now is they want more passing, all this shit. Look up passing in a dictionary and look up racing in a dictionary.
Two completely different things.
I just
We ain't
read them,
racing
and
no
they,
more.
read-
NASCAR ain't racing.
they seem to be very similar.
Oh man.
Then you don't know racing.
No, that's why I'm here. I'm here to learn racing. No, I'm just fucking with
You're
you.
learning from the wrong group of guys.
Yeah.
If you want to go pass, go jump in your local interstate and go pass cars. You want to go race, go get on a racetrack and go race the damn car.
You want to go fishing? You come with me. You want to go catch something? Choose somebody else.
You want to drink beer, you're in the right group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see where you're frustrated with that. But that's I don't know. it's kind of a, what the fuck? Oh.
Oh, I love it.
Straight from dictionary right there.
Where is he at? He's gonna
I
be
agree.
Kevin was not a racing man.
But Willie, I 100% agree. Take away the ride height rule. Make them run a like 4 or 5, 6-inch ride height. But also, if you're gonna do that, take away their tie down shocks and make them go back to coil binding.
Now, do you think they do that stuff for safety purposes or for just because they
do it for raw speed, dude. That's
just
it.
raw speed. That's it. So you'd prefer slower cars than faster cars?
No, more horsepower is what you said. More horsepower, more motor.
More
Take
motor
away,
with
take away
less.
the handling. Basically, take the handling. Put the driver back in control of the handling.
Give them a
instead
big
of
old motor.
The car just stuck to the.
Give them a big old motor with a car that is off the racetrack, not stuck to the racetrack, glued to it, and then you'll have racing. You'll put the driver back in a car.
So from an outside perspective, that sounds like they did it for safety reasons. I can see why you'd want to take it away.
What's safety about it? We're going the same speed.
You're probably going with the bigger motor and the car off.
You're
the
probably going to go
racetrack,
slower.
You're going to go slower.
You're going slower.
Yeah,
you're going to go slower.
You're not going to have
It's
traction
all
for that.
throttle control. Like
Yeah.
if you, I like my biggest comparison is if you take a dirt car and you got a tacky racetrack, you're on the fuel, you're literally on the goose, just ripping. But once that track dries out, you have almost 1,000 horsepower to connect to basically sand, and it's all about driver and throttle control. And
It's all driver at that point.
yeah,
It's all driver. It puts the
is.
driver back in the car.
Well, and honestly, I mean, think about it. Like, let's just say it does make him faster. But what's safer? 2 guys going in a quarter at 160, or 1 guy going in there by himself at 175? Like, they're trying to bring passing back into it. That's not necessarily making it safer. It's, if anything, it's actually making it more dangerous. And I understand why they're doing it is to try and bring more passing and it's more excitement and everything like that. But 2 guys racing inside of each other isn't safer than 1 guy going faster. It's not making it safer.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe I'm different. Is like I liked watching racing back then, where
That's the issue, really.
You had to control your tires. You had to preserve your race car for the long run. Guys would burn their stuff out in 5 laps, or you could save your shit and run 50 laps the same speed while guys are falling 2 seconds off the pace, and you're still running the same laps.
We're more of an old school racer, is the way you can put it. You've been around racing all your life. I've been around racing all my life. We grew up with drivers in race cars. I'm telling you, Moose, right now, you could get in a cup car right now and go the same speed as they are because they're full fucking throttle. You hold the throttle down, you go the same speed.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was noticing. I've been running a couple tracks with them, and I just noticed that you can just sit on the throttle and just turn, and it sticks.
And I also think racing needs to get back to its roots as far as racetracks. Like,
yes,
I'm all for behind. I mean,
okay, so
let the trucks go back to Nashville. Let the trucks go back to North Wilkesboro. We have a
I agree with that.
25 minutes from me, North Wilkesboro. Huge historic racetrack. I mean, probably one of the greatest racetracks if you look in the history of NASCAR, and it's literally just decaying.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. So it costs, what does it cost really? $4,000 to put a body on a truck?
That's it?
$4 or $5,000 to put a body on a truck?
Yeah, probably 6.
So here's the deal. Make them a flange fit. That's the reason why they won't go back to these lower racetracks. It takes, like you just said, $6,000 to put a body on a truck. Well, when your payouts are $10,000, $12,000, $20,000, well, $6,000 is already eaten up by a body on your truck. Here's the deal. Put a flange fit fiberglass body back on these cars. Take them back to 1.5 miles and less, and make them a majority of a short track deal. I mean, even do that with the Nationwide Series. Make them
do it for less with steel bodies. Put the steel bodies back on them where they're not so aero deficient. When you can,
well, I'm saying put a flange fit on them because it don't take the manpower, the man hours in a shop to form your metal for a body. Make them all stamped flange fit $1,000 bodies from fucking 5 Star. You buy your greenhouses, your roofs, everything like that, and all the other shit is just flange fit stuff that goes on a car. That's $1,000 to reskin a late model, at our level. It could be $1,000 to reskin an entire truck. Take the money out of it with the bodies. You ain't got no man hours in it. You Clico a fucking body together. You go race these damn short tracks, and you bring racing back.
Yeah, I don't need to see the truck series at Daytona or at Talladega or any of these big tracks.
You want to watch
just pack drafting.
Race them at Daytona. Race them at tracks like that. It's cool. It really is. But you want to what? Your majority of your schedule needs to be short tracks, like you said, Nashville, Rock. Like go back to the Rock.
Fucking go to Hickory. Go to
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I would be the first person in line if the trucks ever went back to Myrtle Beach. I would be the first person in line to go.
I literally remember watching the Baby Ruth car of Jeff Gordon's running at Myrtle Beach. I mean, I grew up in Myrtle Beach, dude. I love Myrtle Beach.
Crown jewel of the course season.
Go back to the short track grassroots era of racing.
So let me ask you, why do you think they moved away from those tracks? Do you think it was to go to bigger tracks, more fans, and everything like that?
Money
and TV.
It's all money. That's all it was, is money.
I think NASCAR got big too fast.
But honestly, when you're watching races nowadays, you're watching like the race at Pocono, you're watching the race at Iowa, at all these other tracks, and they're filling out maybe half the stands. How much more fucking money are they making? Like they could be filling those amount of people could be filling the stands at North Wilkesboro. Those amount of people could be filling the stands at Hickory or at Nashville. But you're filling half the stands and the other half is completely fucking empty. It looks fucking stupid on TV when you see all those stands and half of it's empty.
Well, that's how baseball games are nowadays, dude. Baseball games and stuff like that. All that shit's empty.
Here's the thing: is you take Eldora truck race. I'll take Eldora because they run two different. They run obviously the truck race one race a year, and then you take a month later they go there with the the super late models. You get the World 100, and the amount of people that show up more to see the World 100 late model race for 3 days than they had for the dirt race at Eldora for the trucks is completely different. I mean, we're talking standing room only, 2-year waiting list for tickets.
$80,000 50-50 ticket at Eldora for a World 100. 50-50. That means $160,000 was put into it. That's just for fans and like the people that buy the 50-50 tickets. That is ridiculous.
And they got a hell of a show. And I'm not saying the truck race at Eldora was bad because I still think that is my favorite NASCAR race of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, obviously dirt racing, but like it's a good show.
Well, it's different, is what it is. It's different, and that's what makes it better.
And
it's different because it's going back to what it should be.
Exactly. People are starting to realize where they could. Why spend $50 to go see a cup race for 4 hours when you can literally get 6 classes of racing, good racing, in 4 hours at their local dirt track on one night
for a $30 bill. Big names.
If that. Oh yeah, you can go see Davenport. You can go see. I mean,
I went to Kokomo Speedway last 3 weeks ago when the Lucas Oil late models were there. You got Davenport, Chris Madden, Bloomquist, all these guys. It cost me a $30 bill. That was it, and I got 3 support classes with it.
And you probably got the.
No, I couldn't. But they did have Busch Light there, so that was amazing.
Still a good positive.
Exactly, that was a good positive. But guess what? I watched more racing then than I would at. I live in Indiana, so we go to Indianapolis. Oh, that was a hell of a lot better race than the fucking Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I can guarantee it.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, I've done the Cup. I've done all that shit. Like, I would rather spend my Saturday night, honestly, at Bowman Gray. As an asphalt race, I'd go spend mine, not because of the racing, because of the crowd and just the environment. If I was going to go spend my money, dirt racing's where it's at. I would go spend my money every week if I have to go watch the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars.
I think it has a lot to do with being interactive, kind of too, because you can be by the wall, you can get hit with the dirt.
Well, it's just better.
I can go to a cup race. I can go to a cup race and get hit by tire rubber. but it's not good racing anymore. It's not.
No.
It's not racing.
When you're not filling,
It's not racing.
Bristol Motor Speedway used to be a 2-year waiting list. 2 years, and now we can't even fill it. The football game
You
between
get more
Virginia and
people
Tennessee
there.
get more.
You get more people there for the short track nationals, and for that damn football game was in the infield.
Yeah.
You believe all this happened after the car tomorrow?
I believe it happened after Dale Earnhardt died. If you want the honest truth,
I lost. Well,
because as soon as
because safety, because all the safety came up. I mean, but he ran an open face mask, right?
It ain't
with,
even
his
safety.
goggles.
Man. It's not even safety.
So-
Racing. As soon as he died, racing completely did a 180 and changed.
So
You
I
know, you
probably
see the
shouldn't
memes
be
all the
saying
time.
on the
You
podcast,
see it
but
all. You see it all the time. NASCAR died when I died. Well, it's true. It really is.
What do you want, Carl?
Welcome to
One
the
second.
podcast. You're live.
Oh, hello.
Oops.
Hello.
Go ahead. By the way, Willie, go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
So, obviously, Uncle working for the team and all that. When they started this whole Car of Tomorrow thing, literally the only difference between what they were racing and what we got with the Car of Tomorrow piece of shit wing cars or whatever you want to call them was literally the first version of it was literally a higher greenhouse, which I agreed with. Get
And the driver was moved.
2 inches to the right.
Yeah,
so
the driver
a
was
little
moved. That
farther
was
from
it.
the left, and that was it. Same body, same everything, except taller greenhouse. Driver moved to the right, and then literally a year later, they come out with that horse shit with the splitter and the wing.
No wing. Yeah.
It's. I don't know. I don't know who's in charge.
That was,
I don't know
to me, that was
decision-making,
that
but
was the
it's fucking
wrong.
terrible.
Yeah. That was the thing for me. That's kind of when I started to actually get out of it.
So would it benefit NASCAR to maybe take a little bit from dirt track, and instead of having a weekend where one series runs on Friday, one series runs on Saturday, one runs on Sunday, maybe kind of grouping it together, cutting the races down,
in time.
in half, or only do 3/4 length or something like that,
Absolutely.
and maybe joining a couple of the classes together.
Absolutely. I've always said that Charlotte should have. My thing with Charlotte is, why not? We're literally 30 miles from every shop in North Carolina, other than, well, Furniture Row's not in business anymore, but pretty much every shop is within 50 miles, say. Cause
Well, I mean, on the Cup side, not the Xfinity side. You got shops in South Carolina with that fucking
Yeah, but-
car and one car, and
Yeah, but they're still only 50
there's
miles.
60
from
miles
here.
on a road.
Yeah, whatever. But 100 miles, literally, you could do a Charlotte race Saturday. Take a Saturday in October without the roll.
Run the Xfinity during the day.
Run
Cup
the
cars
trucks
at
in
night.
the morning, trucks at noon, Busch cars at 3, Cup cars at 7 on a Saturday night or Saturday.
And
One
watch
ticket.
you pack the place. Watch you
Oh,
pack
fuck
the
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And cut the
Because you're getting a lot more fucking action for your money.
150-mile truck race, 250-mile Busch race, 400-mile Cup race. You'll sell the place out.
And obviously, I honestly I wouldn't even go that long with the races, because that's where
No, you gotta-
especially
you-
with the
You have to bring fuel mileage, all that shit back into racing. It's a race.
Well,
the
then
Cup
cut-
guys,
cut
it
down
is
the
a
tanks.
race.
right. So
Bring
cut,
them into
cut
the
the
fuel
fuel
mileage
cells.
situation.
Yeah, cut the fuel cells. And
They tried that. They
Yeah,
did
'cause
that.
They went from a 26-gallon tank to, what are they, 13 or something now?
Yeah,
give 'em
they've
a
already
fucking
done that. Like,
5-gallon.
bring it. Just you need to keep them at least a 400-mile race. That needs to be your longest race.
Except for the 600. The 500 at Daytona and the Coke 600. Ground jewels.
Well, see, I don't see a problem with
But
really
you
long
keep them at
races.
400. You still have your crown jewel at Indianapolis with the 400. You still have most of your crown jewels. You keep it 600 to 500 and the 400. Even like the Southern 500, keep it at 500. That place puts on some fucking racing.
But I mean, even if you have races like that, there's no reason they can't do, an ARCA race or a Can-Am race or a modified race or whatever is depending on what track they're on. They can't put those mixed in with the with the Xfinity or mixed in with the trucks or even mixed in with the Cup cars. Race more than one series, in a day. So it makes it more worthwhile than spending $75 to $100 for a ticket just to see one class run, 300-400 laps.
So I go to Daytona almost every February. I don't go for the 3 races. You get 3 premier races, the Camping World Truck Series or the Xfinity and Nationwide Series. I go for a week before it. And what I do, Willie can probably vouch for this. You really go to the short tracks, and then you go on Saturday night, and you go watch the ARCA race, and you can watch the fucking Bud Shootout. 2 best races of the entire week right there. Literally, the 2 best races at Daytona are the ARCA race and the Bud Shootout. And at the Super Speedway, that's not even the best racing. Your best racing is at New Smyrna, and that isn't even the best racing. Volusia puts on the best racing during speed weeks every year.
Absolutely.
There's more people in the stands at Volusia and at New Smyrna than there is for the ARCA race. So when you buy your tickets, $50 ticket. When you buy your $50 ticket, you get 2 Cup practices, Daytona 500 practice. You get two Bud Shootout practices. They don't even call it that anymore. Whatever it is now, a Clash. 2 Clash practices, a Daytona 500 practice, the ARCA race, and the Clash for $50 at the big track. There's more people over at Volusia and at New Smyrna that night than there is at the big track.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Reason why? NASCAR's lost its roots. Guess where its roots are? Down the street at Volusia and down the street at New Smyrna.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I've done it myself. We were down there for 2 weeks between the shootout and qualifying and all that. I'd go to Volusia and New Smyrna just to watch racing, just something to do and talk to people and drink beer and have a good time.
It's not even something to do. You're going to watch better racing at those 2 places than you will at Daytona. And it's a hell of a race. Trust me, it's a hell of a race. But guess what? You're going to watch better product of racing at Volusia and New Smyrna on a short track compared to that 2.5-mile oval over there at Daytona. Get off of these big tracks and bring it back to its roots.
Well, there's 4 different cookie cutter tracks out there that all basically are the same track. Was it like Kansas, Vegas,
Kentucky?
Yeah.
Chicago? No.
Chicago's the same as them 3.
Yeah, and then you got
Charlotte,
one.
Texas, Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what? Cut Atlanta. Cut up Atlanta. Bring back the old Atlanta. I do give Atlanta props because guess what? They haven't repaved it yet.
That thing is old as shit, and it's
bumpy and abrasive.
Do you think that a lot of it
just
has
like
to do with the way?
Seriously, stop. Look at your best races in the Cup Series throughout the year. They're on old, worn-out racetracks. Darlington, Atlanta, even Daytona is starting to come back to what it was. It's not as bumpy, but it's starting to bring back the abrasiveness, and that's all in your southern asphalt. It's all because they use seashells in the fucking asphalt. It's what it is.
You hear that? Southern asphalt.
Do you think that a lot of it also has to do with technology? That's people can sit at home in the comfort of their house, not spend fucking $30 to get in, or $150 to get in.
I could spend $50 and see every race.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If you were within 100 miles of Daytona International Speedway and you don't go there, you're fucking retarded.
I'm not that far away, but I'm a little bit further. But I've never been to Daytona. I've been to Homestead plenty of times because I'm down in South Florida.
Homestead's another great deal. Look at the asphalt there. More southern asphalt. Great race.
I wish that they would have never changed that track from the Indianapolis style track that it was. It used to have 4 turns. It was pretty flat. The racing was so much closer, and they changed it to what it is now. And I think they gave it a little bit more bank on the high side. But the original one, when it was just a truck series, I guess the wall wasn't high enough. One guy died because he hit the wall backwards. His head popped
Name
out.
check.
And, yeah, his head came out the net and right on his. If the wall would have been higher, probably would have made it. I don't know.
I mean, the wall don't change. The wall don't change directions, dude. The wall's still a 90-degree piece off of a piece of asphalt.
Problems.
You know what I mean? It's not going to change. It's, you know.
I'm just wondering if it would have been more of a different situation in the way it would have hit. You know what I mean?
It was the cars back then. It was the cars back then, and the safety features that were in the cars.
But even in that stuff like that, safety features, you know, as technology goes on and we decide to make things, you know, what we consider more safe, you can't prevent everything. It's like for people that compete in sports, the fact that you could possibly die is part of the edge of it. There's a small inkling of like, this is life threatening, and that's why I do it.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are not there to watch them fucking go around in a circle. They're there to watch.
They're there to see the carnage, and that's,
you know, put full tube cars and Hans devices and full containment seats, full face helmets into old cars. Look at the cars themselves as to what they were building. That's what made racing what racing is. Not these safety inventions, all that shit like that.
Oh, I mean, they tell me I can't eat lead paint anymore, so like they're just ruining my life.
Comparing apples to oranges there.
Yeah, well, I mean, safety is the biggest thing nowadays. If somebody gets hurt if I say hold my beer and jump off the roof and say watch me dive into the fucking dirt, and if I break my neck on your property, I'm allowed to sue you. But I was the fucking dumbass that jumped off the roof and said watch me do this.
Yeah.
Even if somebody told me not to do it, I'm now allowed to fucking come and say, or my parents, or
I was
my
under the
girlfriend,
influence.
or somebody else.
They should have stopped me. Nah,
right,
bro.
it's like, oh well, you guys knew he was gonna do it. He said he was gonna go out there, and you were holding his beer. It's like, well, I told him don't do it. What do you want me to do? Shoot him in the fucking neck?
The thing is, we've all been under the influence. You know, there's a small moment where you can stop yourself. It's possible. I've been far gone, and done shit. But then there's a part of my brain that goes, hey, maybe not. And I go, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but no, my only thing is like, nowadays it came down to a situation of
ludicrousness.
You can blame somebody else for your own stupid shit and get away with it.
Oh yeah.
Like even
Here's
in the justice system and everything.
The way
else.
of life, everything that's gone around with the way of life is way different than it was.
Oh,
and when it comes to the NASCAR side of things and racing side of things, it needs to get back to what the fuck it was. I don't care what you say, you know, it has to get back. It has to get back. We're not going to have NASCAR. Guess what we're going to have? We're going to have short track racing, dirt racing. Dirt racing is what you're going to have. Plain and simple. It's what you're going to have. That's all you're going to have. All asphalt racing is failing. Dirt racing is what you're going to have.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm good with it too. You ain't gonna hear any.
And honestly, I mean, I'm about maybe 25 minutes to a half hour from Pocono, and the closest dirt track to me is about an hour 15, hour and 20. I'll go to 5 to 10 dirt track races a year. I won't even go to Pocono for a NASCAR race. It's not worth it for me. Not worth the money, and it's not worth just watching them for, you know, the front stretch and that's it. And there's hardly any fucking passing, where I can go to a dirt track race and enjoy it 10 times as much.
I hit 30 to 40 racetracks a year. Personally, I hit 30 to 40 racetracks a year, and I'll travel to 5 hours away from me to go to a race. Well, 18 if you count Daytona. But 4 of them racetracks are NASCAR tracks.
Right,
Indianapolis, Chicago, Michigan, and Daytona. My 2 favorite places on my entire schedule of 40 tracks is Kokomo Speedway and Fairbury Speedway. By far the 2 coolest places in America, the best racing there is. And I'm not a dirt fan. I'm not the biggest dirt fan out there. But guess what? They are the 2 coolest places you'll ever go to, and it's the best racing you'll ever see.
Other than the Core Series on Sunday nights.
Exactly.
at 9 Eastern.
Never heard of her.
I need
That's
shit.
'cause
I
you're
need
not
to go
committed,
out
damn it.
south with you guys and go fucking tour some
It
tracks.
costs too much money. $5 is too much for my broke ass.
But yet you're willing to buy beer.
That's only a half a case of fucking Busch Light, dude.
Yeah.
Shut up, bitch. We named Busch Light.
That's true.
Yeah, but if you win the series, you get $20 of beer.
I would race the series for free just to have fun with my buddies. I don't care about the winnings and like that.
Then
Like
why
I
the
told-
fuck don't you race with us?
Well, because
He starts
I'm not gonna-
drinking at
I'm
fucking
not.
noon.
No.
It's
I'm
because
not gonna get into it. No, I'm not going to get into why I didn't race the first half of the season because that whole episode's been wiped up and everything like that. But
Got you, Carl.
I'm not even going to talk about the whole situation because of what Moose God said. So
Yeah. Well, we can talk about it afterwards if you guys really want to get into it, but it's
I don't. It's water beneath the bridge.
Yeah,
Let's just have
shit
fun,
happens.
man. We're here to promote next year, and
we're here to promote Cora Racing Series. You guys are
As a whole.
extreme racing enthusiasts, which is good, and it shows that you guys. Wait, what the fuck? Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
suck my dick, Chris.
I'm on the board.
That is true. Terry is on the board.
Boom. But yeah, no,
Terry beat Platt.
that's.
Oh yeah.
I
Platt
think
didn't
that's
even do a
something
full lap
that.
yet.
I am the absolute worst motherfucker there is when it comes to a road course. I don't know how I beat one person. Well, Randy, he sucks too, but damn, I don't know I can beat him that bad. I race with my buddies in my open league. I race with my buddies in my open league that
Let me see
some
if I
of
can
us
beat you
are on,
guys.
and we tested it at a Roval on a fixed setup. I was 8 seconds slower than all of them. Randy must be that bad.
Sounds like a
With
good day
the-
for me. 8 seconds slow. I'm down for that.
I don't know if he actually put any effort into it, to be honest.
Well, he might have fell asleep in his seat during the lap.
Yeah.
So,
He's definitely sleeping. That's for damn sure. But I don't know how Chris did that.
Well, something I guess to kind of end the night. As iRacing, or at least from what I'm gonna get into a little bit of a heated topic, but we'll keep it a little away from other people. As I've been broadcasting or been around iRacing for this, past 5 months, like actually
Damn,
in
it's
it,
been that long.
it's been about like 5 months. It started in
When are you due?
I believe
Is it mine?
February.
Oh fuck.
Around there. No. But I've noticed there's a lot of kids that do iRacing.
Why do you got to bring this up when I'm in here?
Why's that?
No reason.
Uh-huh.
because Willie loves kids when it comes to iRacing.
I used to be I used to be the punk ass kid that thought they knew everything, and then I grew up and realized that I wasn't, and now I'm in my father's and the people that I grew up like. I have forgotten more about racing than these kids know or will ever learn.
That's what I wanted to bring up is there's a lot of kids in this, and there's a weird dynamic. Like I encounter people that are my age or older, and then I run into people that are like still in high school, and it's a weird dynamic because you see kind of like this gap in the racing generation. And it
Absolutely.
and it seems to be a gap that comes from people that are really probably hardcore fans of like actually going to the track, and then people that just play something because maybe that's all they can play, or they have friends that do it. I don't really know. I don't know. It's just there's a weird gap that I'm like running into.
So, like for me, I've put in the hours. I've busted my knuckles. I've worked on my own stuff. I've worked on other people's stuff. I've been to the racetrack till 2 a.m. Whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't a simulate. This isn't a game, it is a game. It's not a simulator.
It's a simulator.
It's a
an outlet.
simulator.
It's an outlet for me, man. Like I come on here, drink beer, fuck around. If I have a good night, I have a good night, and sometimes I let my temper get a part of me. But like most of it is brought on by these kids that think they are better than everybody, and half of these kids can't get out of bed before fucking 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or
Right.
in the morning or whatever. And
Well, that kind of just depends on when mommy comes in.
yeah, and
When's breakfast gonna be ready?
I've been, I don't know, I'm sure Platt and all these guys have done it. Like, you've been to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. You've had to go in and pull off, and these kids come in, and it's no different when racing. Like, if you fuck up and you got to pull an all-nighter to fix a race car to go race the next day, it's all hands on deck, and you fucking chug 3 Red Bulls and a fucking 5-hour energy and plug on. There's no,
I've been there probably 10, 15 nights of my life.
and but you know what I'm saying. We've done this shit for real, and these kids come in and it's like, oh well, this is just a fucking simulator, and I'm gonna be a fucking peak driver and all this shit. Well, fuck that. What have you done besides sit in front of your computer to earn any of this? Like, I've put in time on real race cars, man. I guess that's I might be. That's just how I feel.
It's
I guess
crazy though that these kids can come in and tear up a car. Like, they can drive it like there's no tomorrow. Completely outdrive the hell out of somebody that could actually really drive a car on a video
Carl, check Facebook.
simulator. You know what I mean?
I can probably relate to that a little bit because I'm probably a lot younger than all you guys.
This is true.
So
Yeah.
Well, get
I mean,
the fuck
I
out
have-
of here, Chris.
See, this is the age gap I'm
Granted,
talking about.
Granted, I do work a job. I do I'm not completely I'm not in high school or anything, but I'm probably
It's not even a job. Work your job and then have to spend all night fixing your shit. You know what I mean?
And that's something that personally I have not done. I will admit to that. The closest thing I've gotten to real racing is I've done autocross a couple times.
Yeah, but you've had to work on your own stuff, and that's something you pay for. That if you wreck your shit autocrossing, you have to fix it, right?
No, it wasn't even mine. They just let me drive.
See, that's the issue with racers these days, right there. That exact thing right
Not
there.
necessarily saying you, Chris, but like.
But these guys that come in, daddy's money, daddy's backing them. Guess what? They send their shit out and they go get it fixed, and they've got backup cars to go the next race with. Well, Joe Blow, Willie, and John, we ain't got shit, dude. What we have is what we have. If you wreck it, you fix it. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in NASCAR too.
Yeah.
I think that's why, so Terry knows about it. I had a little intervention with myself about a month ago. I took this shit so seriously because I come from that side of racing,
Yeah, you
the
treat it
working
like
side of
actual
racing.
cars.
You go wreck my shit, in a race, I'm gonna be beyond pissed off at you. I'm gonna fucking scream at you. I'm gonna do all this shit because I know what it takes to fix these things over a stupid ass mistake. That's why I think I was coming from the side that I was, because I come from the side that, I wreck my shit. I'm in a garage all fucking week.
Yeah, you put blood
or
into
all
it.
night just to go racing the next day, and that's, you get a race car driver, there's passion there. Willie goes and races on iRacing, he has some kind of passion there. I go race on iRacing, there's passion there because we love to do this stuff. This is what we love to do. You wreck us, there's passion behind, the shit that we spew out of our mouths when it comes to you.
Well, the thing is, incidents happen, accidents happen, and, if you fuck up, you fuck up. That's fine. But it's the ones that don't own it and the ones that, know they did wrong, but they won't fucking man up to it, or, they'll do the same shit day after day, race after race. Those are the ones that piss you off.
Yeah. And that's the stuff that I see that kind of starts reoccurring with a lot of leagues. Is these people, since a lot of leagues are open and they don't charge, or they just league hop. So you'll see them in one league, they'll get kicked out, they'll hop to the next one that's open, and they'll just trash that one and then hop around. And it's kind of a weird dynamic because I recognize them and I'm like, fuck.
The people that league hop are, sorry, Chris, they're the younger generation. The younger kids that get kicked out of a league.
Yeah.
They kicked out of leagues, The older guys are the ones that stay with the leagues that they're in. You know what I mean?
I know one that league hops.
Who?
Not here. Well.
Yeah,
Carl.
but
You can say it.
Oh, can I?
yeah, go ahead. Fuck it,
Oh,
throw it
fuck
out
yeah.
there.
Oh, fucking Audie.
Yeah.
No, that motherfucker's young, dude. He is
Oh,
young
is he?
and stupid.
He's
Oh, yeah,
16.
he's young.
Yeah, he said he
He
said
said
he
he
was
was
32 or
fucking
something.
32.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
15 or 16. He's
Dude,
15 or 16. He's a piece of shit.
Audie is
Yeah,
a
but he-
troll. I could like the moment I saw like he's in a couple leagues that I'm going to be broadcasting, but like I saw the way he
I'll be
talks
right
on
back.
ASR, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, poop.
he's a troll. I wouldn't believe half the stuff he says.
That motherfucker. Oh.
That also comes down to old school racing again. You know, when Willie says he's going to stick to something, he sticks to it. When I say I'm going to stick to something, I'm going to stick to it. You know, these kids nowadays, they don't stick to what they're actually going to say they're going to do. You
Well,
know,
they don't have to.
My biggest thing
we
for
stick,
me is
we stick it out.
my biggest thing for me is the kids that don't like yeah, I have the last name of my uncle and all that stuff, but my uncle's made me work for everything. My parents have made me work for everything, and I am who I am.
Last
they're-
names and shit like that don't mean a goddamn thing.
If it makes
Yeah,
you
but
feel
I'll be
any
the first
better,
person. I'll be the first one to tell you on this podcast. I can tell you just the way Willie talks and everything. He's had to work for what he's had. Look at his demeanor when it comes to racing. It shows you that he's had to work for everything he's got.
and
You know what I
if it makes you feel any better, I never recognized your last name, nor have I ever looked it up. I don't look at people like that. When I'm
No,
out
and
there
I
watching people
appreciate
race,
that, but
I
like
watch
some
their
of these
quality of
fucking
racing.
kids on here, man, I think I was in 2 weeks ago when I got suspended from ASR, and
Oh yeah,
it was
yeah.
because of it was because of a personal issue with my last name, and that shit takes offense to me because I'm my own person. I try to be. I look.
Your
like
name
you
is
said,
Willie, not Ray.
exactly, and I look at people like, man, who I'm not the type of people like, what's their bank worth? Man, I'm not that person. Who do I want to have a beer with? And I've not met anybody. I've not met anybody in this league that I wouldn't have sit down and have a beer with. And
That's
shoot
exactly how I feel.
like I want to race with people that I want to. If we wreck each other, I want to laugh about it. Like the same last Monday with Randy. He ran in the ass out of me after a caution. I was laughing about it. I gave him shit about it, acted like I was mad, but I want to do that stuff.
I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story.
How many
I will tell
weeks?
you a story. I'll tell you a story. So this is going back to what Willie was just telling you about. Willie Evernham was the first motherfucker I met on iRacing. And
How
guess
many
what?
times have we
Yeah,
wrecked each other?
I know his last name. I know his family. I know all that. I know the entire story. But guess what? Me and Willie shared so many good ass times in some hosted races, just screwing around, having some good ass racing, like
How
good
many,
old boys.
How many races did we do that one night? Like we were fucked up more than the football bat, drinking beer, and we had 10 hosted races at Daytona. And we'd get in the lead and just wreck each other.
You say
It was
more
just
than a
a lot of
football
fun.
bat?
It was just
Yeah.
a ton of fun. But I can tell you right now, Willie was probably one of the first people I met on iRacing, and literally, Randy was probably one of the second people I ever met. And guess what? Still with them. They're still the good old boys of racing. You know, they're good people in racing, and there's the new generation racing, and it's really easy to decipher who's the old school racer and who's the new school racer.
And at this point in my life, man, it's like, take this iRacing thing. Like, if, say I hit the lottery and we got unlimited funds, we're all going racing.
We're all going racing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I 100% agree. We're all going racing.
I'll tell you what, we might not win the race, but we're going to win the fight and we're going to win the party.
I'm to that point in my life too. We're gonna
Best
win.
saying
We're
ever.
definitely gonna win the party. Whether we win the fight or not, who cares? But guess what? We're still gonna party after that fight.
Damn right. Like, and that's, life's too short to have all this, like, negative shit. And,
All the petty shit that comes up.
yeah, man, I like to
Yeah.
drink beer. I like to have a good time. Dude, literally, the best part of my day is reading the core shit because everybody gives each other shit. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we got each other's back.
I mean, and going to some of the stuff I was talking about earlier, Moose. Besides the Cody Webster stuff, me and Randy had a falling out. But guess what? We're good again, and it's just because we had a misunderstanding. But guess what? We're still good old boys. We still love racing, and that's all it needs to be. You can have your fights with people. Me
Yeah.
and Willie could get into it. We might not talk for a week or two, but guess what? When it comes down to it, we're still boys.
Well, the thing
You know,
is,
and that's
No,
how it
fuck
is.
that.
you can't,
No,
you
that's
can't
how
let
it
that
is.
shit get to you.
No,
You
but
gotta have a
Bud
short
called
memory.
my shit out, and I'd call his shit out.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
that's
yeah, but like these new school guys, they just jump ship and go to the next person that they can leech off of.
Yeah, me and Terry had a falling out because he ran out of fucking beer.
I picked up more, but I ran out again.
Jesus.
I'm gonna have to send you
I'll try
over
to
my
get some for
keg.
tomorrow.
I got a fucking keg that I picked off a bar. Just
shit.
sitting in my fucking garage that I'm gonna swap out once I'm able to afford a kegerator.
Just get a laundry basket.
I think it's the 30 gallon keg. It's the big barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the big ice buckets.
Yeah.
So they get them at the dollar store.
Yeah. It's just the problem is to get that thing swapped or filled. It's a fucking like $150 or so to swap them.
Is it that much now?
Yeah, to get them. Yeah. At least in Cali it is. For like around, I asked a bit, and I also want to keep it because it's an old Miller keg. So it's like a little cool at the same time.
Yeah, you won't get them. You won't get that one back.
Yeah, I know. That's
they give
why.
you the new style and a shitty ass tap.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's just sitting there, just looking cool. It's got beer in it, but I wouldn't touch it.
Hell no, it's not on ice. Fuck that.
No,
Get that shit cold.
It's been sitting there for like 4 years, plus how many years it's been in the fucking bar.
You're not alcohol abuse.
You know, I pulled it out.
So you had beer that was 4 years old?
abuse.
No, I have a keg that's 4
Wait,
years old
beer
that I pulled from a bar that had it probably sitting for about 2 years. They were doing a remodel, and they had a bunch of stuff in a quarter.
Whoa.
That was me. Sorry.
What?
Give that beer to me and Willie. We can have it gone in a day.
No, you don't want to drink that.
What is it?
It's Miller, but they said they tapped it just to see what
Is
it
it
would.
free?
So
It's
here's
free
how I
and
look at
moldy,
beer.
probably.
Here's how I look at beer.
Bush
Number
Light's
one,
the best.
Bush Light.
Bush Light, number one.
Number
Free
one,
beer,
Busch Light.
number two.
Number 2, free beer. Number 3, cold.
This is why me and Willie get along so great.
I'd agree with that.
You have shitty taste in beer.
Fuck you, Terry.
Terry, fuck off.
It's not bad. It's just not my first choice.
Well,
A
shit,
little
we
bit
don't live in
high-class, you know what I
Florida.
mean?
We don't live in Florida and drink that high-end Bud Light shit.
Yeah, a little high class and you guys.
Welcome to middle class America with Bush Light, son. High class motherfucker.
Well, I'll
You know, that's
switch
the
it up.
thing, Is me and the old lady were talking the other day, like, if we hit the lottery and whatever it is, like 500 million, I'd still be the same person sitting here talking to you people, and I'd still drink Busch Light. I wouldn't drink anything other than that shit.
So if
Favorite
I
beer?
hit 500 million, I'd probably have a cool outlaw late model and a super late model, but I'd still be here drinking beers with you every damn day on iRacing. Guaranteed.
Me
Fuck
too.
that. I wouldn't have a race
I would
car.
be
I'd
on
have
my
field
yacht with a
cars.
fishing pole next to me.
I might have my own track and say, "Hey guys, let's move."
I'd probably
on
have a
over
new
here."
boat, but I mean,
Yeah.
besides that, new boat and some new race cars,
That'd be fun.
And
I'd be
that'd
cool
like a
with
nice
my life.
1960, 33-foot
No,
Matterhorn steed.
sorry, I'm sorry. If I had 500 million, I'd probably buy me a motion rig for iRacing.
Fuck
Ooh.
that.
I don't know if I
You'll
want to
never see me on iRacing again. I'd talk to you fuckers on Discord while you race, and I'd be fucking hammered drunk.
Like, I don't have to go to work
Oh,
tomorrow.
I'd still race.
Yeah, I
I
probably
would definitely still race.
I'd do the core stuff, but fuck all that other shit.
Oh,
I'd
shit.
buy it. Fuck it. Let's just buy iRacing and make it our own one big core series.
All you kids are out.
Fuck that. We'll just
18 or older.
Well, that actually brings up a gripe I have with iRacing. Kind of like trying to set up a league and do like heat races. There's not really a lot of customization to what they have. It's very bare bones. So like if I want to set up, say like I want to have 10 cars. I want them to race 4 heats with the same 10 people and have them all continue, but just clock their times so that it adds up at the end. I can't do that. It has to be 10 new car or 10. I have to have 10 people
10 new
for
sessions.
each heat.
or 4 new sessions.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. Why can't I pay for a race that I like? It doesn't make sense why I can't just set up a race like
racing in real life is not like that. You're not
Well, you
going to
can
have
do racing
4
like
big
that.
races like that. Here's the deal. You know, the programming and shit that goes behind all that shit it's tough. I give iRacing all the credit because they give us a hell of a platform to go race real life shit.
that. That's
you know,
that's not what I'm
online.
griping at. What I'm griping at is just the ability to like. I just want the ability to set small short races, so like 10 laps, 5 laps, but do it 4 times in a row.
One race is one race.
I get that, but
You
you
know,
can do a heat.
I think he's
and
talking about, like,
bracket
heats.
people. Yeah, I'm talking about.
I understand
heats.
that, but here's the deal: if you want to do it, you set up a session for 4 hours. You go run your damn 10-lap race or whatever it is. Park the cars, bring them back out for another 10 laps, do it again, and do it again, and do it again.
And just run.
Yeah,
it
basically you
like
have to buy a league and then do it that way. Like start a league and then
Real iRacing
know what
is
really bugs me about the
after
game?
real racing.
No,
Real racing is not like that.
I get that. I have a league. I took over a league, so I'm trying to set it up to be a specific entertainment
league did you
value.
take over?
I took over High Octane.
Well, High Octane was mine, motherfucker. I was the owner of High Octane.
Yeah, well, what's his name passed
What
it
in
off?
the world?
Keith passed it off.
Yeah, High Octane was mine.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I know
confused.
you. I know you
I
were
am
part
so
of it in the
confused
start.
right now.
Can I come back to my own fucking league or what?
Why?
Can we go in the
Why'd you
confused
leave?
channel?
So you
Why
guys
you
remember
guys
the
do it?
whole High Octane deal was a super late model Super Speedway series, High Octane?
No, I didn't
I
even
never
notice
did
that.
that.
I ran.
Remember that? Remember that?
I
That was mine.
I ran trucks.
And the trophy trucks, High Octane Super Late Model Series and the High Octane Trophy trucks. That was all mine.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. And I raced all
So why'd you
Anyway,
leave?
trophy truck shit.
Willie, you ran Super Late Models with us in the High Octane series.
I did. Oh wait,
Yes.
was that the Super Speedway late model?
Yes, the High that was
Oh,
a
yeah,
Super
yeah,
Late
yeah.
Model Super Speedway series. That was mine, High Octane.
Yeah, I did run that.
Yeah.
My biggest thing with iRacing is as far as like the dirt stuff. Fuck them counting caution laps.
I agree with that.
That would be that'd be awesome if they got rid of that.
I hate counting caution laps.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Because it eats up your fucking your fucking race so fast. So Platt, why'd you leave High Octane?
I folded the Super Late Model series because, you know, after a little bit, we were just getting, you know, we weren't growing. It was still the same 10 people. You know, we ran our course, and Keith Calhoun did an amazing job getting so many people into the Pro 4 stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it was fair to have me as the owner when it was basically him, because I was the owner of High Octane. Now, High Octane was Super Late Model stuff and the Pro 4, Pro 2 stuff.
Okay.
Now, we ran our course with the Super Late Model stuff, and it kind of ended.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel right owning High Octane because he put so much time and effort into it. So I just gave it off to him, saying, "Hey, man, you put all your time and effort into this stuff. We did our stuff with it, with the Super Late Model stuff. It didn't take off like it should have. You know, it's still a hell of a lot of fun, but you know, with the amount of time and effort you put into this trophy truck shit like that, you can have it. It's all yours, buddy. You know, run with it, do big things."
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I gave up ownership of all of it.
Okay. Yeah, he said he was just kind of not interested anymore, so he passed it off to me because I want to. The league died off like real fast.
Give it back. Well, give it back, and I'll.
Well, I'm gonna.
Don't say give it back. Not say give it back.
I'm gonna be
Bring
rebuilding
me
it.
back, and I want to bring back the Super Late Model Super Speedway stuff because that shit was so much fun.
So I'm gonna be restructuring the league to have two or three series featured around the trophy trucks. One being like a light series since it's free for newcomers, and then they win.
That's fine.
They win pro trucks, so they'll pay a $3 fee, and then the money goes towards the winner. They win a pro truck, and then they get graduated into the Pro 2, Pro 4's fixed series or something like that, which is like an amateur level. And then from there, you prove yourself and you get pushed up to like the main group.
High Octane was actually built around the Super Late Model Super Speedway series, and what it was super late models. You know, your short track racing series on 1.5 mile and bigger racetracks, and it was so much fun.
Well, if you want to come back and
That
do
is
that,
what
I'm
High
down to
Octane.
have
That is what High Octane was built around, and it was back when me, Webster, Randy, all these guys were still in cahoots with each other, and we're like, oh, you know, the Pro 2s and Pro 4s had just come out. Like they were just announcing the Pro 2s and Pro 4s. Well, we were like, oh, we're gonna jump on it and we're gonna start a league already. I was like, well, hey, I got this league.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's how I found it.
So that's how we did the high octane stuff.
Okay. Well, if you want to come back and help co-admin, I'd love help.
Wait, so what are we racing?
Pro 2, and Pro 4s, I don't like them.
That's fine. I'm gonna
don't
manage
like
that.
those
You don't have to help with that. I just
I think it should be a weekly series at Myrtle Beach in the super late model.
I have Willie. If you want, stop. Time out. Willie, if you wanna put on a super late model series like what Bandit does, but be better about it, or something like that. Like I don't know, like be more. Bandit does a great job. I love Bandit to death. Love Bill Harkins. Bill Harkins is a true racer from the heart, 100%. But he has zero help. Zero help. It's all on his shoulders.
That's tough.
But it really is. It's really hard on Bill, and I feel for Bill because it's really hard on him. I have a dormant league right now on iRacing. If you want to put a Super Late Model league on, I'll give you all the rights to it, and we'll go have fun.
I'll do it, but I'll control it. I won't race because I know.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You got to have admins. You got to have live admins. All this other shit. If you want to put on a real.
Yeah.
I love racing super late models. I love racing late model stocks in this deal. But
I would love to put on a Blizzard series.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I mean, what's a
Blizzard series?
And Five Flags. The Blizzard series runs at Five Flags. But if we put to start a Blizzard series on iRacing, you could run it between the 2 Florida racetracks. Or 3 of them. USA, New Smyrna, and Five Flags.
I wonder how much longer USA is going to be on there.
It'll be on there for as long as you want it to be.
Dude, North Wilkesboro's coming, and I cannot wait.
Hey, I'm going to close out the podcast.
That'll be the first thing
real
I buy.
fast.
As soon as it comes out, I'm buying it immediately.
Hey, I'm gonna close out the podcast.
Go ahead.
All right.
Hey guys, it was nice talking to you tonight. We talked a lot of shit, talked a lot of racing, but hey,
Talked a
good
lot
night, guys.
about racing. And once again, thank you for everyone from the core series. You guys are great. I enjoy broadcasting you guys and being a part of the group. As an outsider, it's a lot of fun.
I actually hope that we brought more of actual racing to your podcast tonight than just the iRacing.
Oh no,
stuff.
you brought so much racing, like my mind's blown, and I'm gonna have to like re-listen to everything and like look it all up because it just flew over my head. A lot of it, like I understand mechanics.
Be shitting racing for the next week.
Yeah. There's so much you guys brought up that like it's like if I was to start talking paintball, you guys would be like, the fuck.
Well, maybe not me.
Maybe
once I started hearing you guys talking about swiping, I was like, all right, well, I'm out.
Well, hold on.
Wait, Willie, when did you stop playing?
I sold all my shit at the beginning of this year.
See, I quit 2016. But I played MPPL, PSP, or I played like 1 or 2 PSPs, APL, and what's the other one? What's
NXL or no?
NXL. Yeah, NXL.
NXL.
My team still runs in NXL. They're running Division 2 right now.
Dude, you come down to North Carolina and we'll play Fulda. Scenario game. Have you ever been to that?
No, but I've heard about it.
Dude, come down to North Carolina. You got a place to stay? We'll drink some beer, play some paintball.
Dude, that'd be a blast.
Like, we get 2,000 people for that fucking thing.
I know, it's fucking gnarly.
You guys should do a podcast.
All right.
We'll paintball shit. We'll fuck all these guys. It's like they fuck you up on racing. We'll fuck them up on paintball.
Dude, I'd make them fucking shit bricks. It'd be so much fun.
I'm shitting bricks, just sitting here listening to this.
Oh, wait, are you a spool guy or are you a poppet guy?
Both.
See?
So I ran a Geo 2.5 as my main, and then my backup was, well, it depends on what I was. So we were sponsored by Virtue and MacDev, so I bought into their GT series for one of the seasons. I really loved it until I found out what its main problem was, and then the gun only lasts you about 6 months, and it's like you have to get a brand new gun. It's that fucked.
Oh yeah, the updates are ridiculous.
No,
that's why I love PE.
Yeah,
you can't.
That's why I went back to PE. I used to be a diehard Shocker fan, and then I got an Ego 2011, and I played with that. That was too loud.
Oh
I couldn't hear people. I had an anode handgun or on the side of the the thing, and I just remember having to stop shooting so I could like yell across the field because those Eagles were so loud.
Because my first gun was like an Ego 9.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
let me close
started
out the
out with a
podcast
10.
real fast. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in, Community Gamers. We're going to talk about paintball and cars and crazy shit, but hope you guys had fun, and we'll be back next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Western, and then we also have Core and ASR on Sunday and on Monday, so don't forget to tune in and check it out. I hope everyone has a good night.